Hey guys, welcome to Last Movie Standing, and welcome to 88 week. This whole week I'm going to be doing 88 film reviews because I got a bunch of stuff in from them that I've had over the last couple weeks, but because these are such new films to me, I've needed to really watch them and watch them more than once to be able to talk about them. And this first movie is one I was really excited about because it just looked amazing, and I've never heard of it before. But we're going to talk about Castaway from 1986. Not the Castaway that everybody knows with Tom Hanks, which I've probably officially think I've seen this film more times than that film. I was never really that big a fan of the other Castaway. I know that's blasphemy, but I think I've maybe seen it twice in my whole life. I don't know. But this is a movie from 1986. It's I think this is canon. I think it opens up with the Canon logo. It's an interesting movie. I will say that. Just because it's a movie that I don't think has ever come to DVD. This is like a first time to Blu-ray or to disc. I think it has a VHS you can get, but I don't think it ever went past VHS. And this from 88 Films is a 2K restoration of a 4K interpositive. It's a lot of verbiage. Don't really know exactly what that means. It's a 2K restoration, so they did do some restoration to it, of a 4K interpositive, which means it's not the original negative, but I don't know how much work they had to do to it to not make it a 4K. But if it's a film that was kind of forgotten about, I'm pretty sure the original restoration or the interpositive was probably a little rough. But you can't tell when you watch the film. The film looks fantastic. Now, what is this movie about? This movie is exactly what it sounds like, Castaway. But unlike Tom Hanks's Castaway, where he gets stuck on a desert island, this is about two people who choose to live on a desert island for a year on purpose. And these are two people. This is based off a real story too. This is based off two books actually. It's about a guy and a woman who are on this island, and each of them wrote a book afterwards. Her book was called Castaway, which is what this is mostly based off. But he wrote a book too. I forgot the name of the book, but it takes pieces from that, and it's a very interesting film to say the least. But before we get into the film review, let's go over the packaging. 88 always kills it with packaging, but with this one I can't show you everything because there's a lot of nudity on the cover, on the art. I love this artwork, by the way. It is the original poster, but I think it's mixed. I think it's mixing two of the posters or something, but it's very well done. This is very much like a Vinegar Syndrome style slip. Very thick, very just matte finish. Feels really good. Does have reversible artwork. Again, I can't really show you all the... It comes with a bunch of cards. Every one of them has nudity in it. And it comes with the book, which I really like the whole... It looks like a film script. Everything is just... It's typed out. It's mostly... I think it's an essay in here. And everything about the film. But our production notes, not an essay. It's production notes. But the way it's done like a film script, I really like the look of it. But I wish I could show you the cards. Can't. YouTube will get me in trouble. But speaking of nudity, who is this? This movie stars Oliver Reed, who you probably know from Gladiator. That's what I know him from. I saw him, when I saw this, I was like, I've never seen young Oliver Reed. Let me check this out. And Amanda Donahoe, who was literally naked the whole movie. but not really in a sexual way. She's on an island. She's naked. I'm going to tell you a little story that has no significance to this, but probably, 2025? 13 years ago or something? Right, I was right out of film school. I was a grip on a Playboy photo shoot, doing the lighting and helping the photographer out. That was like a 12-hour shoot. Long day. Very long day. And the model was naked. It was like one model. Naked the entire time. After an hour, you don't even pay attention to anything. She's just naked. It's how it is in this movie. She's just naked.
Cover your tits. What? For God's sake, cover your tits.
But I really love the performance of Amanda Donahoe. I keep wanting to call her Dunaway, but Donahoe in this. You may know her. She was in Lair the White Worm. She was in Liar Liar. She is gorgeous in this. I think this is like her first feature, actually. She's gorgeous in this. And I like her look more at the beginning of the movie. Beginning of the movie, she has this red hair, and she's so pretty. And, she gets to the island, it's blonde. So she spends most of the movie blonde.
You're such a liar.
But basically what it's about, the movie is about Oliver Reed's character who has these plans to go on a deserted island for a year. I think to write a book or something. It doesn't really specify. It's one of these things where you almost got to kind of figure out if you know the real story, it helps. I had to do some research on it because I was really intrigued by it. But it's about these it's about him, and he's looking for a woman to go with him on the island. And he's kind of auditioning these women. He's very much a womanizer in a way, but he finds, he connects with Amanda Donahoe, and she just wants to get away. She's this adventurer. She's really the heart of the movie because you really feel for her. Oliver Reed, very similar to him in real life. If you read anything about him or know anything about him, he was kind of a drunk. He was kind of ridiculous, a little bit out of control. He's kind of like that in this. He's this guy who wants to do something with his life, but once he gets to the island, he just becomes lazy. He is lazy. She wants to hunt and fish and make this thing that's theirs. And the ironic thing is in the movie, they have to get married. And she hates that. She does not, because she just wants to go on this island with this guy. It's kind of for her own reasons, but because of the Australian government or something, they have to get married.
I am not marrying you, Gerald, not for some out-of-date immigration law, and especially not just to get us out of debt. Taxi!
You make us the bride. You're man and wife.
Bravo! Well done. Another good marriage, Gerald. And it costs so little.
And they don't have sex at all on this island. Like, they get married, and she just cuts him off, basically. But he's kind of a lazy bum, too. Like, he doesn't deserve anything, and that's all he wants. He wants a cold beer and a good screw.
A screw and a cold beer right now is the summit of my whole life's ambition. Do you know something? You could found a whole new religion on this island with a screw and a cold beer.
That's all he wants. He doesn't really get any of that. But their relationship is, I don't know, it's at odds. It's like, yeah, I'm surprised these people didn't kill each other, to be honest, stuck on this island.
You're like a randy little bitch on heat. Do you know that? You behave like that tomorrow, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Do you understand?
But the film itself, how would I recommend this movie? It's one of these things you just have to see for yourself, because Castaway is very beautifully shot. Very beautifully shot. Except the editing is a little rough. And I did watch this with the commentary, because it's got a commentary track with, are they historians? Yeah, film historians, and they're talking about it. And they're more talking about the director's style of this movie, and dude, I don't know if I could watch any of the other movies because it's very like naturalistic in a way. I don't want to say documentary style. It's kind of documentary style mixed with with a really good cinematographer, because there are scenes where the audio, I had to watch it with subtitles on the phone because I couldn't understand anything they were saying.
I'm sorry?
This is Gerald King.
Ridiculous, for God's sake.
Wait a minute.
The advertisement in Time Out magazine.
Sorry, I thought you...
Are you serious?
How should I know?
Yes,
What
I'm
are you trying to do?
serious.
You're not...
No,
I wish you'd shut up. I wish you'd die.
Right.
Russell Square Hotel.
Russell Square Hotel,
Say 7:30.
7:30.
You could hear the background noises, you could hear things like some of the stuff they were saying I didn't understand, and it was just how it was edited, because it was giving if they're in a restaurant, you hear everybody else around them too. Like if they're in a room and the TV's loud as hell, and you're like, God, I want to hear these people. So it's very much a naturalistic feel to the movie. And I feel like that's something a lot of people may not be into seeing this movie. But it's also not just the audio, it's how it's filmed. Some of it just feels like they went to this island, they had a script. I'm sure they had a script. I know they had a script. But some of it feels like they just were like, hey, do this, this, and this, They were trying to figure stuff out and just putting it together to kind of show these people on this island for a year. Like there's a whole scene where the main girl, just Amanda Donahoe, like basically wraps herself and leaves and rolls around. Has no significance to the story. It's kind of weird. Part of you feels like, is she going crazy? One thing I do love about it though, so they do play on the whole, like they're on this island for a year, but they look the same. Wouldn't they have gone like super skinny? Like remember I don't know if you know this, but in Castaway, the Tom Hanks movie, they I think stopped filming for a couple months to let Tom Hanks like lose all that weight to film again. So they filmed the beginning and then they waited and they filmed the rest of the movie on the island after he lost that weight and stuff. With this, they don't go that extreme with it, but they have cutaways, which you can tell are like body doubles, where like the girl will be like looking in the mirror, looking at her body, and then it'll cut to like somebody who's very malnourished, someone who you can just tell like they're starving to death kind of thing. And then it'll cut back and it's like what she sees versus what's really there. It's really interesting in how it's edited that way. That was one of my favorite things about it because it made you think as an audience. And it's like these tricks because it's like back then they really couldn't show it. Like Oliver Reed is kind of not a heavyset guy, but he's a pretty big guy. He didn't really get any skinnier, but they would cut to these like close-ups, which were really interesting and pretty well done. So that's Castaway from 1986. Just came out, I think, last week from 88 Films. As I said, first time on disc. If you're interested, I definitely say check it out. Watch it and then Google it and then watch it again because I feel like you'll get more from it that way. Or just watch it because Amanda Donahoe is naked the whole movie. And she's beautiful. But it's an interesting film. It's very interesting. It's just not one of just like, oh my God, you have to go out and watch it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you're interested, I definitely say check it out. If you're into like Lost on a Desert Island kind of movie, you got Castaway, you got Blue Lagoon, you got all these movies that kind of have the same theme, but they're stuck there. These are people who choose to be there for a reason. And especially Amanda. Amanda Donahoe's character at the beginning of the movie is like, when they get dropped off, the publisher, because I think they got sponsored by a publishing house to write, a book or something after about their experience. She was like, the female was like, hey, I'll send a helicopter for you in 2 weeks. Amanda Donahoe's character is like, no, I got to do this. And she makes a point to where she doesn't, she has to finish what she starts. And I relate to that a lot.
Let me send a chopper in the next 2 weeks. Just
Janice, don't.
But that's not the point. This is mine. I'm going to do it.
What did you read it for, then? I said, what did you read it for, then?
Because I never give up once I've started.
But I love her character, how driven she is about she started this and she's going to finish it. And it's kind of like her persistence through this. So it's different than just a normal, hey, I'm stranded here and we got to figure out a way out. This is, no, they're there by choice. There's even a scene halfway through the movie where these Australian guys come to help them. You know, there's a scene where these nuns come, where villagers come to help them. So they're not completely stranded. They're there by choice, which makes it a much more interesting film than just, hey, we're stuck, how do we get off? It's not The Martian. It's not the other Castaway with Tom Hanks. It's not Blue Lagoon. It's not any of those. So, yeah, stay tuned the rest of the week. We are doing 88 all week. I wanted to separate these because there are so many different genres coming. So this Castaway from 1986 is like a very British kind of movie. The next couple are going to be horror. We got some Hong Kong cinema and we got some Japanese cinema. All new, all things I'm excited to talk to you about.